G'day, I'm Charlie Pryde, and welcome to my YouTube channel, Pride of the Villages. So on this video, I'm going to introduce you to a new boat, the Gulfstar Endurance. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to give you an orientation to the boat's features, and then we're going to go on a 44-hour trip to the Florida Middle Grounds, where for some great grouper and snapper fishing. If you are unfamiliar with Gulfstar fishing, then here is some background. Both Captains Rich and Paul came from the Viking fleet of Montauk, New York, and have been operating in Tarpon Springs since 2006. For years, their primary multi-day trip boat was the Gulfstar, which I and a bunch of my fishing friends were customers on for about 8 years. We mostly did the 44-hour middle grounds trips during the red snapper season, but we also did a 7-day deep drop trip. One thing that was constant was the quality of fish caught. In 2020, the business decision was made to purchase the My Joy boat out of Connecticut and renovate it into the Gulfstar Endurance. It was a several-year endeavor due to COVID and material delay issues, but now the Gulfstar Endurance is up and running. It has an aluminum hull with a waterline length of 85 feet and a width of 25 feet. On the main deck at the back of the cabin area, you have 2 heads with toilet, sink, and handheld showers. Moving forward, there's a drink storage station. All bottled water, coffee, and soft drinks are inclusive on the trip. Above the cold drinks is the tackle rigging station. All terminal tackle was inclusive on this trip, with circle hooks a regulated requirement for utilizing dead and live bait. Moving forward is the galley, where all meals and snacks are prepared and served, included in the fare. There are 6-person seating tables across from the galley station, and forward of that is the bunk room. 20 bunks with 10 top and 10 bottom, marked with T and B. You can choose your bunk when you make your trip reservation. If you are old and not that nimble, like me, I would try to get a bottom bunk. There is convenient storage for gear under the bottom bunk. On the main deck at the stern is primarily the ice storage, dead bait storage and prep station, and the live bait well. The boat will typically pull live bait traps on the way out from the river. Moving up the starboard side to the bow is where the customers' coolers are lined up to store their catch. What's nice is you have about 5 feet of room between the rail and the cabin bulkhead, with plenty of rod holders available. At the bow is a 2-anchor system, and there are stairs to the top deck, which I will show in a minute. Down the port side, you have much of the same, with good room to move past other anglers on the rail. Then I came across this cracked window, and there is a story here. A very large king mackerel skyrocketed on a flying fish and went head first into this window. Mates had a picture of the kingfish that knocked itself out. On the stern are stairs leading to the top deck. These are wide and easy to carry equipment up and down. I like what they did with this deck, plenty of bench seating and extra rod holders. Not often I get on a headboat where there are enough rod holders. The wheelhouse looks to be well designed, with the helm separated from a crew sleeping compartment. Now that we have toured the boat, let's check in for the trip. I was joined on the trip by Dean and Gary, 2 friends from the village's deep sea fishing club. I understand the old dock space is not large enough to berth a new boat, so the check-in process is different from the old days of the Gulfstar, and it may change again in the future, so confirm with the office before arrival. Our trip, we checked in at the office, located at 607 Island Drive. There you will pay any additional balances you owe, and are given a boarding slip with bunk and rail numbers. Also, it listed Captain Shea as the primary captain, Garrett, Tom, Paul, and Christian as mates and cook. From the office, you drive through the traffic circle and make a left turn at this location. This is a picture of the lot during the day. Note the fudge shop on the left and fishing signs on the right. Don't worry about the parking lot being full, as you will be arriving after 9 p.m., and it will look more like this. After unloading your gear on the boat, you'll have to move your vehicle, and the office recommended the city's free public lot at this location. It was a short walk back to the boat for final boarding, and we were on our way. first fish on the boat was Gary's keeper red grouper. Dean quickly followed this with a nice vermilion snapper. I was using a plugged threadfin herring on a Snell double hook rig when this red snapper came aboard.
I'll keep it anyway. A fight like that now, I'll give you a tag.
Guys like Dean using live baits started to hook into some very large fish.
No, it's red snapper.
I don't.
No, it's a big red snapper. Big. 5-pin fish, right?
Yep, 5-pin fish. No flat, flat 25. Woohoo!
Oh, baby. Let's take a picture of this guy.
All right, nice fish, Dean.
Thank you there, Johnny.
All
right.
See if they'll open this mouth this time.
That is a snapper.
Looks like one, right?
Man.
White line's clear. Wow. Come on, Charlie, here I am, man.
God,
Oh, I'm just kidding. That's all right. I don't know where it went.
All right, nice fish. All righty. Do me a favor. You just point at it. It's already going, so I just point.
Big red snapper. Out here on the Gulfstar Endurance. Let's go, baby.
Yep.
E doggy.
All right.
You can just lay them on the ground. We got to tag
All
them.
right.
There you go.
Thank you, sir.
No problem.
Dean's on a big red snapper again. Another nice one.
Another nice one.
Here's yours.
All right.
Yep. So what we can do now? Charlie's on. Get him, Charlie. Get him.
Nice, taking me in a wreck.
Ah, he got smoked. He just saying, I am the master now. He's gonna move.
The mates, through the stops, are gaffing, dehooking, measuring, and venting fish. When on the move, they are icing down the fish, cleaning the deck, and getting things ready for the next drop. They are constantly on the move, helping out the customers.
Oh, nice red, man.
Limited out on red snappers, Captain Shea moved us to some spots to target red grouper and other snappers. There was a steady pick of red groupers, mangrove, lane, vermilion, and yellowtail snappers. There was also a good amount of porgies caught, and the coolers were taken on a variety of keeper species. There were also a number of nice fish caught that were out of season and released, like gag grouper and triggerfish. As the evening approached, it was a welcome relief from the heat of the day. Now, a lot of people pay good money for sunset cruises back in the ports of Florida's Gulf Coast. Just know that these sunsets are included in the fare. The night bite was mostly a snapper bite with a good mix of mangroves and yellowtails. I was able to land this keeper grouper.
1, 2, 3, red grouper.
Red grouper.
As the night proceeded on, the anglers at the rail started to thin out, and I find this the most enjoyable time to fish, as you can move around the boat to new spots where the structure below may be holding fish. Some really nice mangrove snappers were landing in the cooler. Plugged thread fins seemed to be the preferred bait for the mangoes, and squid was prime for the yellowtails. There was some very nice yellowtails caught. Gary did a great job on the groupers with 4 species in the cooler, to include several reds, a scamp, a strawberry, and a rock hind. At 8 a.m. we started to run home, and after some good sleep, it was time to reflect on the trip and watch the mates ready to drop the live bait traps for the next 44-hour journey. Once the fish was cleaned and we loaded the truck for the trip home, I had one final task. That was to pick up some items for Jennifer from the Hellas Bakery across the street. A small price to pay for her encouragement for my fishing adventures. As the 3 of us drove home, we summarized the trip and concluded that this is a Florida Middle Grounds trip we will definitely do again on the Gulfstar Endurance, and likely a future deep drop trip as well. There are still some things the owners want to improve on the boat, and that is a work in progress, but they have some of the best crew in the business, and that goes a long way in making it an enjoyable fishing trip for the customers. All of the Gulfstar Endurance's information and trips can be found on their website, gulfstarfishing.com. So until my next fishing adventure video, I wish you tight lines and be safe on the water.